Alright, so hey everyone, this is GeoWill from Productions², and we are back to do some more streaming for Gold Rush. So I did a bunch of mining last night, actually. Actually, I did a bunch of mining on the save game, and then I went over just to see how the stuff would operate. I went and created a new game on the greenhorn difficulty, or whatever it is, the easy difficulty with the $1 mode, and essentially set up a tier 5 wash plant. So all the highest level equipment, and then the Frankenstein conveyor belt system. And it's insane how easy it makes it. I basically went through almost a 100% clean out in about 30 minutes, whereas it takes like an hour and a half to almost get that much. I mean, an hour, maybe it was 25 minutes, because it takes at least 40 minutes to 50 minutes to do to get even near a 100% clean out with the way that what we have now at the claim on our main save. So what I did was, as I mentioned before in some of the other streams, I got the highest loan you can, or at least at the point in time that I was at, which was 304,000. And I basically said, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to try and get enough money to get out of debt, but also have the tier 3 wash plant up and going. And it really is a tier 3 now, as you'll see. 2A, yeah, that's the one. So the main issue that I was running into was that I when I went and got the loan initially, I got it. I didn't wait long enough. I should have waited until after the day started, because if you don't do that, the preceding day, you have to make a loan payment. So you're already in debt at that point. So I waited a bit of time for the day to pass, and then I got the loan, so I had that money to use. And I didn't go 30K in debt right away. And then with the extra money that I got, because before I did like a $100,000 something loan, I did the 304 this time. So I was able to get the big excavator, the front end loader, as well as a hopper and a a hopper and the conveyor belt. I also got all the rest of the equipment, so I got all the hog pan, not the hog pants, but I got all the stuff for that. That's all down here right now, because I just did a washout. Whenever I do washouts, I normally have to like bust my arse to get things done quickly, so I don't put it all back. See, I got all the stuff for all this, and all the grates, the mining grates up here, the nugget trap grates up here as well. So, what we're going to do now is, as you can see, I have a little bit of gold from the last clean out I did. So I did it was an 89% clean out, and I got from that, I found a 400 gram nugget, but from that I found about 1,200 ounces of gold. No, 1,400 ounces, because I ended up with nearly 1,900 total, or ounces, grams, once everything was said and done. So I still have some time left today, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna run. Or I gotta set everything back up. Damn. Never mind. I guess we don't have any time left today. What am I talking about? So let's go ahead and throw everything back in now. As you can see, I have 50 grand to start out with here, 56 grand. And I also got a second fuel tank, mobile fuel tank. In addition to the... Yes, I'll still have 7,000. Nice. I am slowly but surely digging myself out of this hole I was in. So the first day, I was in $11,000 of debt. The first day. The second day, after I did my clean out and sold off the gold that I found, I managed, because what I was having to do was I was having to sell some of the gold to be able to get out of debt, so I could sell to smelt the rest of it to sell it. I was using the magnetite for that too. So this will be the first clean out where I don't have to do that, so I should get more money overall. But what's having to do is, because I'd be basically, you know, in the red to start with, so I'd have to sell gold to get in the black to actually be able to smelt the gold in the first place. So yeah, the first day was 11,000 under. The second day was about 6,000 under, and now I am 7,000 over, so 7,000 in the red, or in the black. So this is going to be good, as long as I can friggin' continue to find dirt to mine. It's going to be kind of an issue too. Yeah, so I went over and set up a wash plant with all the highest level equipment, and also bought basically 2 of everything. So 2 sets of mats for the hawk pants, 2 sets of miner's moss for the sluice boxes, 2 sets of nugget trap grills for that sluice box, and ran it for about 2 hours, and I basically had a double clean out, and I got something like 5,000 craps of gold just from that test. I was on the Nighthawk claim too, so that also helped. So there's all kinds of gold up there. Alright, so I also think I figured out where where that miner's moss ended up on the, if you remember way back in the beginning when I said that the tutorial I lost a miner's moss because it kind of disappeared. I think what happened is I went to take it off and pulled it down instead of up and over, and it got lodged into here underneath this ramp, and I didn't realize it and couldn't find it because of that. Didn't know to look there. It's a side effect of the crappy physics system they have. If you run it into something, it'll actually get ripped out of your hands and stuck in some place, and unless you know exactly what might have happened to it, you'll never find it. I've also ran into some really interesting issues driving the front end loader. If I just barely graze a wheel into these holes, it just causes the physics engine basically says, nope, I'm not doing that. It flips out and flips out the vehicle. I've had very many times. Well, there's one time when I hit that one over there and it flung the front end loader over here across against these trees and it fell down. That was the most generous one that happened. Other times what will happen is it'll hit it, they'll flip out, fly up through the air, and the map will just reload your vehicle in a reset position. Not over there, but somewhere where it was before it flipped out. It's very, very strange. I have no clue why it does that. It's got to be. It's probably something they did to account for the physics engine problems, but it's just really, really strange. Let's see. I don't really care about the buckets. I think I got the one up here still, don't I? No, I don't. Where'd that one go? Oh, it's down here. Both of the ones are down there. Alright. So I'm getting another full day of mining, so I'll probably be able to get close to 80% again. Actually, I still have some material left to dig out with the front end loader, so we'll do that. Let me go ahead and set up the equipment here. So go ahead and take that off. And we'll need to disconnect this power splitter and hook up this one. Alright, let's go and turn this on. Get this started. So in case you were wondering, the BFT, big fuel truck, or big fuel tank, or, you know, big fracking tank, that's what I like to call it. To fill that up, it takes 20,000 bucks. That's 10,000 liters. Let's see how much fuel's in here. I don't know if I refueled these or not. Oh yeah, I definitely Well, I didn't need to refuel it. Oh no, I did refuel it. Never mind. Yeah, I did. I also found a new weird issue. Sometimes, if you're in the excavator digging, and that camera mode where it's like showing you the bird's eye view of the, not the bird's eye view, but the side-along view of the the bucket, and you run out of fuel. Oh crap. I haven't hit the run button in a long time. Okay. You run out of fuel and it just kicks you out. The camera gets stuck. When you go back to to this view, camera view on any other vehicle or even the excavator later on, it gets stuck in a certain position and you can't move it around. The only way to fix it, I found, is to go back to the main menu to unload. This is another thing that I found. When you load up a game, there's all kinds of settings and things that aren't actually cleared out. So they don't they don't basically null out any, like they don't null out the handle to the camera system, for example, or they don't null out probably some other things, because if you just reload the game from inside of the game, that issue still persists because they're not unloading whatever fracked up and it's not resetting itself. You go back out to the main menu, it does that, and when you reload it from there, it's fine. It's just another thing that's just like, what the hell is wrong with these developers? They just don't do things the way they should. That's not... Is it full? I guess it is full. Okay. Good. As you can see, we've got a pretty deep hole there. Kind of got the excavator boxed in, which is why I was wondering if we were gonna, where I was gonna get the dirt from the mine. But I'm starting to go around where where I was putting the material at before, where it wraps around behind the excavator where it is now. It went further back. Oh, crap. So I'm starting to mine out from where those were as well. And it takes about 6 or 7 in-game hours of just driving back and forth to fill this thing up enough to do a clean out. It's kind of crazy. We'll probably get to 30% with what we have left with the material here. Probably. Let me deal with this a little bit here. Oops. That's not good. No. R, not E. Also trying to get these, all this stuff level so you can easily drive over it. It's also a problem. God damn. I don't know. I haven't hit the E key in so long, and now I'm hitting it when I'm trying to do stuff. I think it's just the added distraction of narrating the gameplay. But yeah, the Frankenstein wouldn't help in this case because it doesn't go that far. Now, maybe multiple Frankensteins hooked together, but that takes like millions of dollars because it's like 500 and something thousand just for one Frankenstein. But I mean, I could see easily where we could be over at the other side of the claim and have 2 or 3 Frankensteins in series to come over to here, and we would fill this thing up really fast. Because it's basically like using a mobile wash plant. You're just having the material traverse itself to the wash plant instead of carrying it like this. So you cut out all this time of transporting it. I don't think it takes less fuel. I think it takes more fuel because the conveyor belt system uses a lot of fuel. But it does take less time. Which means you get to clean out much sooner. Gotta dig the excavator out. So I sold the small excavator. I only got about 2,000 for it though, which is kind of annoying, given how expensive it was to buy initially. that was an interesting task of getting that sold, because it was almost the next day, and if it went over to the next day and I went into debt, I wouldn't have been able to bring the front end loader back over. So I kind of had to bust arch to get it to get this transported to the claim. It transported to the claim and get this removed from the claim, then to get back here in the truck. And doing so, I managed to pop both the front tires on the truck somehow on something. Not sure what they blew up on, but. And that was an interesting experience trying to get back in time with that going on. But managed to do it. Once you get going for a while, you can actually get this going pretty smoothly to where you're like, you just drive in here and you've got the material you're driving out. But I need to play this for a little bit of time and do this to get back to that. It's not something you can just do. You have to get a feel for how you've dug out the rest of the material in there, because how you dig out that area also matters. If you dig it out like in levels not correctly, or you don't smooth it out when you're going through, you'll have a lot of issues getting in and out of there. Speaking of which, I need to start actually digging with the excavator correctly. Should be making levels and then being able to go deeper and deeper into the ground. Well, I guess that would make sense if the ground was infinitely deep. It's not. There's always going to be a... Whoops, there goes the field truck. There's always going to be a bottom pretty close to the surface in this game. There's not true depth in the dirt here, so there's not really a reason to do that. So, slow down a little bit, angle in, drop it down, and just in we go. Backing out's always interesting. Trying not to fall into the holes. I'll have to get the sides cleaned up a bit there. Not sure what happens at the end of the season when winter comes, if anything. Like if it says the season's over, blah blah blah. I guess I'll find out. I never actually completed a full mining season yet. Got 2 days to go, so let's see what we can get out of it. My goal is to get at least, be able to have at least $20,000 to $30,000 by the end of the last day here, after the lease payment and the loan has been taken out. The other thing is you have to get this low enough to get that stuff too. Sometimes you have to angle it down a bit. Oh, wrong button. It actually might be full. Yeah, I think it's full. So now I am pushing 5 buttons at once. It's not easy to do. With one hand. And 4 fingers. But to get this thing running smoothly, so you're getting, getting the material as quick as possible, it's kind of what you have to do. Be able to hit multiple keys at once that are in weird positions from each other to be able to get everything working. This edge is going to be interesting to do because it's like right on the edge of the hole here. So the last cleanout got me about 70,000 bucks once everything was said and done. It would have been a bit higher, but like I said, I had to sell about 200 ounces, or 200 grams to offset the amount of money I was in debt. I've also been selling the magnetite too. It doesn't come out to much, but it was enough to get me enough to make it so I didn't have to sell so much gold for smelting it. We won't need to do that this time though, so we'll be able to start collecting it and upgrade the blacksmith some more. I probably sold something close to 60,000 grams of magnetite, so I probably could have upgraded the forge a bit to get more out of it, but it's just how it goes. I actually gotten this one. This is pretty flat this time. I've had some pretty atrocious looking sections there before. Especially ones that were hard to drive through because they were, like, I would cut so low on one pass and not so low on another pass and have like a tiered thing going up, and trying to get the bucket down far enough to be able to properly pull stuff out of there was annoying. You get stuck on things. So it's actually important to try and get that as smooth as possible. So you just dive right in there, grab the material, and get out. Obviously, we're gonna have to move. We're gonna have to go with the dump truck before we go to the Frankenstein. But the Frankenstein's gonna be the end goal. I'll try and dig out the excavator a bit more here. Okay, we're full on the material. And it's also very easy to screw this up because even a little tap will send this thing all over the place sometimes. Because of how maneuverable it is. What do we have so far? 21%. Actually, we might get to 40 or 50 with that, to be honest. I didn't realize there was that much there. So, Chrono Cross videos are up for new ones. I'll be doing recording during the mornings starting next week again. I was doing that before and then I stopped because I was working more on the RPG Maker plugins in the morning. Then I stopped doing that entirely because I started having to work more in the evenings for work and later in the night, so I started not waking up early enough to do any of that stuff. So we're going to try and get back to that now. Because I really need the footage. What I might also want to do is actually dig this out a bit. Dig this down a bit further with the with this. Because what happens, as you can see here, there's a maximum height to the soil. I have no clue why they did this. Just chalk it up underneath the list of things that understand what the hell they did them for, because it makes no sense. But there is a maximum height to soil depth for mineable soil, and that's it there. Once you hit that, it stops, and I am willing to bet that if you have a good sized area that's like that, you dump soil on top of it, that soil goes away. It doesn't actually drop there, it just is deleted. I am willing to bet. anything. That's what happens. So I'm going to dig down into there a bit before we start pulling stuff out again. That way we can actually have a little bit more mineable material. So I think I'm losing some by doing that. Having it just pile up like that. Without having a plateau like that. The other part about the whole driving thing is that it's also about fuel. The more smoothly you can do things over there and in between, the less fuel you use doing it, so you get more runs. And it might equate to maybe just one extra run or two. But, you know, that could be the difference between getting full cleanout and not. Although when you get to that point, it's not really that big a deal. That was not a full pull, was it? I didn't think that was a full bucket. But I wasn't putting any more in, so I thought it was. Then you have times like that. Where things seem to be full, but they're not. You can see there's kind of like a thing here. It's because we got a little bit uneven with our digging, or plowing. Okay, now I'm sure it's full. Alright. It is actually almost the same. Well, no, it's actually 4 in the morning, not 4 in the afternoon. I haven't had the river freeze on me yet, so that's good. I thought it was going to once or twice because it got down to 0.7 degrees Celsius, but I must have to get to at least freezing before it does, which is nice. That way it doesn't freeze over quite so easily. Oh, we're gonna take off the top section, I guess, before I take off the bottom. Apparently. And now I'm kind of stuck on a section of the dirt here. That's what I was talking about, where you can get stuck. It's really stupid. I shouldn't even be getting stuck here, but I am. It's just chalk it up to the crappy physics system here. And it's nonsense. I'm willing to bet it's something they made themselves. They didn't go out and buy something like Havoc or what have you. It's either that or physics. But even so, this is even buggy. This is almost too buggy to be physics, to be honest. Which is saying something. Physics is a buggy piece of crap. Especially when you start using VSync. No, we're up to 32%. Yeah, so there's definitely at least 50% there, I'm gonna say. I didn't think there was still that much left over. Nice. So we're gonna be halfway to a full cleanout. We're gonna try and do a 100% cleanout this time. See what we get. A little bit too low, too fast. Now if you get it just right, you don't hit the weird stuff. Getting in and out of there is just fine. Just start hitting that weird area. This weird area, so it's just all bets are off. Hold on. I want to go up, not down. So normally what I would do is I would dig for about half the day and then run material for about half the day. And then that would give me about 60 to 70% usually. Alright, that's full. Oh wow, we're down to minus now. Crap, I hope that didn't freeze over the lake. I think it takes time to freeze it over, it doesn't happen automatically. And I may have to get actually lower before it does. Water still seems to be flowing though, for the moment. You can time it up just right. The right amount of speed. You can just get right in there, right when you want to. And you can get out of here. It's very smooth. It's not easy to do though. Especially not now that I've like really kind of jacked that up a bit. Oh, minus 1.9. Let's see. Finally getting towards the end of this pile though. We'll have to clean up the sides and dig down a bit like I was talking about. I think overall, just about done. I think we're up to 38% now. That's like 41, yeah. At least on the gold nugget traps. I should have done that. Try to like to use this hill for gravity to reduce the fuel usage a bit. Try to get the most out of every tank. Doesn't matter so much now, but it did when I was in debt because couldn't get any more fuel. Oh crap, that's not good. Let's see if we can get fixed up here. There we go. thunder snow, apparently. No, I'm turning too fast when I'm coming out. That's what's happening with that one. So I'm ending up going towards that hole there. No, it didn't do it that time. You have to just get barely over it. Not enough that it like falls in like that, but enough that the physics engine thinks that it should and flips you out. I also saw off most of the other stuff I didn't need. All the like the hoses and the water splitter and the extensions and things like that that were left over from the mobile plant. Scrounge up a little bit of money. It wasn't too bad. It was actually about $2,000 bucks. Toyed with actually going back to the mobile wash plant for a while, but it's, this is still more lucrative even if it takes a little bit more time. In the mobile wash plant, for 100%, you'd get maybe 809 grams of gold if you add some nuggets too. This, you get, 1.5 to 2 times that without nuggets. So yeah, in about 6 hours, show that we've been running material around about 50%, I think. We dug out the excavator a bit. And now we're kind of stuck in here. Let's see if we can work our way out. There we go. So if I need to move the excavator now, I can. I may want to. Just depends. It's also about the transit time. It'd be nice if I didn't have all these ginormous holes around here. I probably should have thought about the planning on how to mine that area out a little bit better. Maybe done something so I could have mined it all out at a level or something like that. And then gone on another level once we mined out most of it. Probably do that on one of the more expensive claims once we get to them. So like mine out the entire area to a certain level, and then once that's done, mine out, go dig deeper and then mine out in a second layer to it. Kind of how you're really supposed to do it. Alright, not so good, but we'll get it done. Got about 20% of the fuel left. It's about enough for another 10 or 12 trips. I don't think there's going to be that many. Kind of almost done with the dirt. What are we at, 55%? Probably get to about 62 or 3. Once we're through all this dirt over there. And do the digging down. I also have to determine if I want to continue digging over here. I mean, there's still plenty of dirt in that area I was digging in, the new area I was digging in, but that's the last area I have to dig in. So I've been using this section here for the material I dig out. That time I just wasn't paying attention. Actually might help to get some light, let's be honest. Lift it up, drop it over. What about this giant snowstorm going on? Alright, I'll lift the bucket up. Get back for some more. It's actually the first time I've cleared out all this material before. I usually leave a little bit at the end. That's not full. That is not full. Whoa. I'm low. Alright, I think that's pretty good. We'll leave that little bit left there. Just kind of as a backstop, so we're not, if we dump stuff over there, we're not dumping it out into the hole we'll be digging. And we'll start digging down a bit more. Yeah, we're going to get about 64%. After that load goes through. So actually we'll probably get closer to, I don't know, maybe even 70. It depends on how deep I want to go on this. I don't want to go too deep. But I do want to go somewhat deep. And I want to do it in I don't want to go just like straight back down. I want to do it in a not straight down fashion, but in a sloped fashion. So we got a good start to it here, actually. Let's go ahead and angle this down a bit more. That didn't really work at all, did it? It worked for like the first couple seconds, but then I think the angle was too deep. We just like kind of gouged out a little section there. Friggin' doing keyboard gymnastics over here to keep everything going in the right direction and not falling out and what have you. Let's see if we can get this to. Oh crap! Yeah, that'll do it. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I did not want to do that. I didn't want to get out of it either. All right, we'll need to reset this. So I done screwed that up. Alright. I don't think we can get too much lower on that. This thing isn't meant to do that, really. That's more of the bulldozer's job. Hydraulic hose has been destroyed. Oh hell, the shaker's down. Alright, you gotta stop mining. Turn everything off. Turn off the pump too. Damn it, where's hardness when you need them? Alright, so we gotta go figure out how to replace this thing. Oh hell. Fracking thunderstorms. Truck, where are you? We gotta go to town. So we need a hydraulic hose. It's like, Shaker's like, oh, you want to throw some material in me? Oh, well, too bad. I'm going to break on you right now. I don't believe the hoses are that expensive. Oh yeah, when you leave the differential lock on, you can get way up there in terms of speed. I actually got it to 90 miles an hour earlier. You can't really control the vehicle at that speed. I ended up hitting that. I ended up coming around this corner here, not being able to stop, and I ended up running into the that trash can over there that person got stuck on. That I mentioned before. This one over here. Had to. I attempted to reload the to restore the truck, and it restored it, but it restored it. Well, it didn't actually really restore it. It kind of restored it. It restored it, and then it went flipping around everywhere, and then got stuck somewhere else. So I had to restore it twice. It's kind of interesting. If I could drive properly here. Alright, hydraulic hose. You're coming with me. 106, geez. It's a lot of dough for a hose. Let's get going so we can dump that last bit of dirt in, and then get to digging up some more so we can dump that in as well. So we can't get a 100% clean out and see what we get from it. I did leave that here. I thought so. I'm trying to remember if I left the magnetite trailer over here, and I did. I was trying to, after I had sold everything, I was trying to, wanted to try and get as much fuel as I could in case I went broke again. Didn't happen, but I left it there and came back and got the fuel trailer to fill it up. Okay, so where's this sucker at? So I'll grab the hose out of the back here. Ah, there it is over there. I don't need two of these, do I? It looks like it's a broken one, so we'll need the wrench, I believe. Yeah, I think it's just this one that breaks, the other ones don't, which is interesting. I think they all could break, but... Alright, so... Guess I didn't sell everything I could have. Alrighty then, let's get back up in here and dump this. First, well, actually we can. They'll just sit in there until we start everything up. Back this up a bit. Actually, I do want to back this up. So I'm going to be able to fuel it here in a second. Okay, I went the wrong direction big time. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go turn the plant on for a little bit while we process that. If you got stuff in the hopper, you always want to turn the water on first. I might need to fill this up. It's starting to get a bit low. That way, you're not processing material through before you have, without any water going. If you don't have any water, you don't get any gold. Pretty much what it amounts to. Let that run through, and that should get us to 65. Oh, we got 65 down there. Should get us to 65, 66 probably. Once this runs through. Then we'll go dig out some more gold. Some more dirt. Run through. 66, 66, 7, 67. Alright, 67%. That was actually pretty good. That's the same. That's about the same as my second clean out. First clean out was about 18. Third clean out about 60. Or no, fourth. As I did 8. No, maybe even. So we did 2%. Then I did a 10%. Then I did a 30, and then a 68, and then a 91-ish. I think I filled this up earlier. We should be good to go. Yeah. Alright. Come back over here where I was earlier. It's going to be faster to dig here. Less transit time, less fuel used. More material mined. Won't be quite as valuable, I don't think. Well, that also depends on how the gold content of the dirt, too, I suppose. And I bought the drill too, so I've got I know how that works now for later. When I was doing the $1 game, then $1 session, I started up again. Last night. It took forever to set everything up though. I mean literally it took me like 2.5 hours just to set everything up properly. Because the Nighthawk claim is frickin' backwards. Everything is in the wrong place from where it gets put out when you order it, so you kinda have to flip things around. That could have been better. Did not go quite deep enough. So I'll actually probably get quite a bit more material out of this one since we got that space there to just drop it down in. Stack it up higher. Unless it's a limit on the size of the hill itself, and not just like an actual physical height in the map, but the actual height of the hill proper. Which would be stupid, but I could see that too. But that wouldn't make much sense because then you'd have that issue with the mineable terrain. So I think it's just a maximum height you can get stuff up to. We're almost at the bottom of this one. Wow. That was quick. Actually, I've got him at down as far as I can go with the 400. Try and knock some of the stuff down in the bottom of the hole here. Try and get at it a bit better. Let's go over a little bit further to the right here, or left. What's really annoying is when you get the angle wrong and you come so deep that so deep into the ground that the bucket gets stuck on the soil when you're trying to come up. Like that. Because you end up losing a lot of material that way. Well, not really losing it, but it falls down into the hole if you have one next to you. Or it's just, in general, really freaking annoying. Finally, there we go. Oh wow, I found a hack. Nice! Wow, how the hell? So if everything is fully extended, the dirt stays in there, allowing you to do that stupid hack that I just did. Jeez. There are so many things wrong with the physics system in this game. And it might be that it's like something that, like a commercial system, that they've just hacked to pieces to make it work for what they need it for. Am I like stuck on something? I am. That's as far down as the arm goes at the moment. Crap. Need to get that hill out of the way. Alright, we should be able to get down lower there. Get that stuff down there that I knocked down. Not too much trouble. I wanted to get some of the stuff from the farther side. It'd have to be on that side of the hole. Just based on the way the physics of the digger works, excavator works. We're pretty much actually at the bottom of this section though, so nice. We got down pretty far. It's good. And it doesn't mean much if there isn't much gold per cubic meter, but at the same time there's still going to be more even if there's not as much than there is at the top layer, even if it's only one more gram of gold per cubic meter. It still doubles or triples your amount of gold you're getting. Be quite a full pull, but it's pretty good. You can get it so you got just enough room to get the bucket up and have it like kind of grind against the edge of the dig site there. You can actually manage to keep all the dirt in without losing anything, but it's not. Oh, it doesn't always work. Also, to make sure I'm not overloading a section. I don't want to see it plateauing anywhere. So it's about 2:30 in game time right now. So I've almost got a full clean out here going on, so we can dig a bit longer. We just need to run dirt through the plant for probably about 3 or 4 hours. The clean out takes about 3 hours to finish. It's about 7 hours, so probably around probably want to stop and start digging at around 5 o'clock in game time. I mean, we could stop now. I'm pretty sure this is enough material to get to 100%, but I like to have more than what I need for whatever I'm trying to do, because that way I can come in after I sell everything, and if I don't have to do anything like run fuel around or what have you. We can start running more material right away. Trying to get enough of it down that we could start digging it out properly. Obviously it wasn't a full pull, but that's fine. All right. And see, this is a graphical glitch here. There's actually a full bucket. It looks like it's not though, but it is. I figured that out. You can see it kind of plateauing there now. I'm going to dump it over here. So I don't want it to do that so much. Of course, if I do end up mining myself onto an island, all I have to do is just restore the position of the excavator, though. If I do that, I don't know where the material would go to move, because it's not going to be able to be put anywhere. But If we can get the shovel in just the right spot, things go pretty smoothly. If you don't, then it can be total hell. Stall up to the particular section of ground you're digging into. It's a pretty good sized pile of dirt there. A lot of the stuff that's in front's going to be probably richer too, because we're digging it out of the bottom there. Just kind of how you want to set it up. So you put your more valuable stuff first, then make the determination if you want to dig up everything or just leave the last bit there, because it's probably not going to be as good, and then dig it up eventually like I just did a little bit ago. Because that section I've been there for quite a while. Almost had a dancing excavator there for a bit. So that section right there that was there had been there for the last couple of times I've been over there getting material. That wasn't full. Okay, now it's full. getting hung up on this side of this hill again, aren't I? It's probably about time to take out that middle section anyway, so... connect these two holes together. I don't know, it's about equal distance really. Not closer to one side or the other. Yeah, it might be a little bit closer to this side actually, now that I think about it. This material's not going to be quite as good, but that's where it's going. It's actually 6 o'clock in game now. Alright. We'll do one more scoop here from down below. If we can. Yeah, we got a little bit more distance on that. Alright. One last rich dirt pull. Alright, I'll just stick the excavator here. Let's see. Let's make sure we're not blocking anything here for the... There, it should be good. Alright, let's go grab the loader and get to loading. Or actually, we gotta turn the plant on first. River hasn't frozen over yet, which is good. We'll need to, that's right, we haven't done this yet. Need to fuel it up. We don't need to go too deep right now. Getting a bit laggy though. Let's get this finished off. See if I can make the clean out go a little bit faster, because we're gonna run it a little bit behind. Did a little bit more digging than I probably should have. We may not be able to get a 100% clean out. I don't think we have enough time left. We'll see though. Let's shoot for 80. I'm pretty sure we can get there. That's only like 2 or 3 more loads. But we need at least 3 hours to clean out, and then another hour, the last hour, to actually go and deal with smelting the gold and selling it. If I had that Frankenstein, it wouldn't be so much of a problem, but outside the price range at the moment. Haven't found any nuggets either, which is interesting. I think we'll probably be able to do another 2 loads before we need to stop. Because by that point we probably won't have enough time to do the clean out. We still might not. We'll have to see. This will be the last clean out we do too, because we need to spend all of tomorrow tearing things down, storing them, transporting them and whatnot. And we'll see what happens in terms of the what happens when the season's over. Interesting to see what happens. Yeah, this will have to be the last one. I also need to get the clean out done before the river freezes over, which could happen. Alright. Alright, there goes the material. So we're gonna get about 80%. Maybe 1% more. Maybe 81. Okay, I'll let that go through. A little bit more. Alright, should be good. Our switch around here. Okay, turn that on. Alright, we're gonna start up here since it's closer. So once these get full enough, you actually can take out of them multiple times, as you can see here. I didn't realize that, and I missed 23% of the gold, 20% of the material that was still up here. I had to take some time to grab it out. Yeah, still 13%. Okay, here's our first bucket, 20%. Do the jigs first. Looks like probably another 20, yeah. So 20% per bucket. So we got 40% here then. And one jig, so 80, we got 80 total. So I'll be able to throw one more in. We'll have to process that, and then we can do the other jig bucket. Okay, let's start that up. Might be more beneficial just to use one of these other buckets lying around to keep running it, as opposed to running it over there. So we got 156 out of that first bucket. So it's probably about 500 ounces, 500 grams in out of these three. Oh well, I might actually get a fourth bucket out of this. Last time I only got 3. Looks like I might have some better material this time. Wow. We'll leave that down there for now. Okay, nudgitator. Oh, we got one more, true. We'll still need to run this too. But we'll use the bucket that'll have this stuff in it, plus the last jig. That should get us to 60 or so percent, maybe 80% on the separator. One thing that I noticed is that the hogpan mats tend to have more gold in them than the miner's moss. It's kind of interesting. It could be that they're just putting way more of them in here at the same time. Where'd that go? It got stuck. It's a very time-consuming process. I thought about getting a second nudgitator. Actually, I did on the test season I did last night. All right, let's pour that in. And this in. And we'll run it. Finish off this bucket. So we got 3 buckets there. This is about speed now. We're running against the clock. It's going to take at least another hour to finish this clean out, in-game hour. Finish this clean out. That's if we don't have any major screw-ups like that, or we have to constantly get stuff in there so not going in the first try. I think I'm gonna get more gold this time. I didn't have nearly as many buckets last time, and I actually had about 10% more material to go through too. So this is gonna. We're gonna be looking at maybe 2,000. Well, maybe not 2,000. It would have been 2,000 with a nugget. We haven't found a nugget. It might be close to 1,800 grams of gold, just purely on what's in the material. So I think one of the sections we were starting to dig out of is pretty high in gold compared to the other places I was digging out of. I haven't used the drill, so I have no clue. Ah, come on, stop doing that. Oh, crap. And we just lost some gold. Oh well, not that much. Yeah, we're only gonna get about maybe 18 or 20% out of this. So we'll probably just get a little bit less. Okay, maybe 24%. That's what we got. Okay, 26. So it wasn't that big of a deal. And definitely to make sure we get a bucket underneath here. Alright, put another one down here. I think there's only 2 or 3 left, so let's leave those. Oh no, there's a whole bunch more left. Damn. There's 4 left. Crap. Okay, let's leave that one there. Take them all out. Or we might just make it in time. Ah, come on. Stop. Oh, Jesus. Okay, oh, yeah. Okay, there. The sensitivity of these the friggin' hitboxes, collision boxes everywhere else are total crap. When it comes to putting stuff into things, it's like the opposite. It's like total crap the opposite direction. It's instead of negative crap, it's positive crap. So it's way too fine. It's way too easy to misalign it. Alright. This will be the last bucket of material to put into the separator. There's a lot less material, as you can tell, gold in this. Alright, and you get... We'll run this, we'll probably get another bucket and a half out of this, I think. Or maybe a bucket and a quarter, we'll see. Now we found some really good ground. Holy crap, we're up to 10% on the magnetite. Alright, let's go dump this in. We gotta make sure we don't overload this though. All night long. That was almost too much. Don't want to overload it, because you put too much in too fast, you lose it. Let's bring the other one over as well. We gotta wait for a while. It's gonna be processing for a bit. That was some really gold-rich dirt in that one. Oh, we only got 500, so 60 so far. It's kind of interesting. It's not going up as much as before. It might have hit some areas where it had really low gold content. Then, oh, here we go. Yeah, that one's nice. Started out good anyway. This little jump there. I'm gonna say maybe 1,200. Some of this material wasn't very good. Okay, no, maybe more than 1,200. Maybe 13. I'm thinking 12, yeah. Some of this is really, really bad ground. Not even 12. Alright, let's go. Still, we're gonna have more. I'm gonna get more out of this because we have less. We don't have to sell anything. Stop. And if I have enough magnetite, I'm not sure how much we have in there. I'm not sure what 10% actually is. We'll have to throw that in the truck, back of the truck, and then we'll drag it with us and throw it in the trailer and just empty the trailer out. I think this will just do. Leave the magnetite trailer over there at the factory. Let's ferry the buckets back and forth. Alright, let's see what we get out of this. So if I get above 30... Well, I guess it depends on what we can actually get with it. I think the only thing left... is for the 30 is on the current tier is the time, lowering the time it takes, which is I don't really care about that at the moment. But if I get 60 or more, I'm going to do the gold loss. We'll get more gold that way out of it. Still just 1%. Damn. How much do you have to add to fill this thing up? No, it was only 16. That's probably worth around $4,000 though. So we'll sell it. Ah, come on. Now, if I had kept it all, I would have had 60,000 by now. 22, 18, now 16. Yeah, we had I think the last patch of dirt we were digging out of, or the section we were digging out of, no, yeah, that was, we only got through half of that dirt. The section we were digging out of before we stopped wasn't very high content of, well, it was at the very top too, but even then I think it was only like maybe 2 grams of gold per cubic meter. I think the stuff we were digging first, I think that was the really good stuff. So I think if we go through all that dirt we have stockpiled there, we'll probably hit some really good material towards the back end of it. Because that's what I was digging out at the end of the last cleanout. And that's what got me up to like 1,800 grams. Along with that, 1,200 along with that 400 gram nugget. Alright, got an hour to spare. So magnetite, you're getting sold. Yeah, I'm actually almost 5,000. Nice. A little bit more than I thought. So that'll set me up nicely. Yeah, gold loss and then the max amount. But those are both. Oh, actually we can, oh, it takes 60 though for that one, for the medium shares. Alright. Alright, smelting 1 begin. We'll have to do, I guess we can do just another one and then we'll leave whatever's there for later. Because it's not going to be enough really to justify waiting the amount of time it takes to smelt it. Be like 10 grams or something left over. But we'll get up to about 60, I think. Well, let me see. It's going to be about probably 21 or so per bar, so that's 42, so 52. Yeah, not as much. Still, that's going to leave me at about, well, it's actually going to be about where I was at, where we started at, really. About 7,000 or 8,000 left over, depending on what the price of gold is. I think the price of gold's going to be up because I'm the only crazy mofo to be mining 2 days before winter. So I think the price of gold is going to be a little bit higher. Or at least that's how it should work. It should be the more risk you take towards when it gets closer to winter, the higher the price of gold should be. I don't know if the developers had the sense to do that, but we'll find out, I guess. Or if it's just some random BS generation that determines the value of the gold at any point in time. Yeah, well, 20 something, 10 something left over, 21 left over. 21 grams left over. I'll just keep. Alrighty then. So once we sell this, I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming for tonight. The next time I do any streaming, it'll be tearing down the wash plant and then seeing what happens. And the bad thing is we're going to go into debt, period, because we won't be able to run any material through. After tomorrow, we'll finish off the material I've got sitting out there and tear the plant down. Well, not tomorrow, but the next time I stream. At 6:30. Alright, should be just about done. Oh, 2 more minutes. Well, 1 more. Okay, let's go. Alright, we got our 36 ounces of gold. Got an hour and a half to spare. Yeah, no, it's based on random generation or something. It's not based on what it should be. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's based on how much you sell, but it also should be based on, you know, as you get closer to winter, obviously there's less mining going on, so it should be more of a spike increase or a price spike in it. But whatever. So that's gonna be it for tonight. Go and save. Won't be doing any streaming for the other stuff. Actually, let me go ahead and let's go and save this. Let me go ahead and load into the tier 3, so 5 save, so you can kind of get an idea for just how freaking quick the Frankenstein is. Now I'm gonna load, not save. There we go. So we're at 71 right now, so let's go ahead and let's go to 100 and do a 100% clean out here. So let me go grab the excavator here. Literally all there is to it. Just drop it and go. I wanted to get this over into some better material, so I did some drilling over there on that hill over there, and there's some pretty good spots. But I didn't have enough. I could have gotten another Frankenstein, I suppose. But this wouldn't reach it on its own, and I wanted to, you know, actually get to mining, because at that point it was about 3:30 in the morning. I guess that's a full bucket. Now I've been finding all that you see there, all that gold you see right there that I had, that 1700, that's all from frigging nuggets. I found so many nuggets so far. Oh, hell. I'm digging underneath the excavator. Can't even get the arm up because we're just like teetering around here. Let me back this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. My problem is every once in a while you have to stop and go check to make sure that you're not overloading the plant. You're not getting over 100% because there's no way to really tell that from over here too well. 90 gram. I found like I think there was a found a 700 gram nugget in here. We're at about 80%, I think. I need to put more fuel in this soon. The Frankenstein. There's actually, the Frankenstein has two different fuel tanks. One runs the conveyor and one runs the actual, you know, the rest of it. I didn't realize that, so I didn't, holy crap. What the hell is that? That's one flying. And it's out of fuel. Let's go ahead and fill it up. Then we'll go grab one of the fuel trucks, tanks, bring it over, and I'm gonna need to fuel up the tank at the BFT. I'll kind of give you an overview of how stupidly this claim is set up. Oh, I see. We're kind of on an uneven ground over here. That's what's going on. Wondering why we're teetering around for. Now the Frankenstein will take a lot of material. If you just want to load it in like this. That's why you need to be able to have NPCs that can actually mine, so you can, you know, set up the way you want things to run while they're digging at the. It takes too much time to like go turn it off, fill it up, turn it on yourself. You should be able to just have an NPC running this thing. And then be able to go in there and turn it on or off, the conveyor on or off, or whatever on or off as you so choose. They're only halfway full juice. I haven't actually filled this thing up before, so I have no clue how much material it will actually hold overall. But so far, it's like this is gonna be the fourth bucket here. Alright, 100%. So let me go find a fuel truck. I'll find the truck and see if there's a fuel thing on it. There's the truck, there's no fuel thing on it. It's a full, okay, we have a full tank then, that's good. I've already filled it. Just need to get it on there and... So as you can see, everything gets loaded up over here when you buy it, and then you have to set it up over there. Like I said, the wash plant is backwards, facing the wrong direction, in other words. And it's really the lower part of it's kind of really screwed over too. You'll see what I mean when we do the clean out. Probably saw a bit of it when I was traveling around there. I do have everything hooked up so that it's done correctly now, though. Not sure where the fuel tank for this is at. For the conveyor belt part of it. I do believe there's another one. Or maybe there's not. I've had more than 33% in it, though. Oh yeah, see, there's definitely another tank somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, definitely. There we go. Now let's turn it back on. Oh, cool. We can run it and fuel it at the same time. Where are we at percentage-wise on gold over here? 87%. Yeah. Alright. So you load up material onto that end, and it travels up this conveyor and comes out up here. That might not be enough to get us to 100. I thought it might have been. Maybe not. We'll see. What do we got left in here? Oh no, it's definitely not. We're only at 35% in there. Well, less now. We're barely at 92. Alright, more digging. Alright, I'll do another 2 loads and see where that gets us. And 138 grams. Nice. Cover over 2,000 grams in just nuggets now. Let's go see where we're at. %. Holy crap. Flushing gold down the drain. Turning off the... Alright, we'll let that wash through. Nothing we can do about it. It's already going in. Okay, so... Crap, I'm using the wrong one. A conveyor belt container, reinforced trommel. Oh, it was just one of them, I guess. Not 2. Okay, I thought I had 2, then I had to switch out. Oh no, I was going to, then I ran low voltage up here. That's what happened. Alright, let's go ahead and start cleaning out. Start up here. Damn it. So there's a reason for not. Oh, I know what. That was the other thing. I knew there was something else I had to detach or change or something. This one. Alright, now we should be good. All that, the other 2 large hoses go to 2 splitters down below that run everything else. And the water source for this is a lake over there, so I'm not worried about running out of water like I did with the creek, especially during the summer. Alright, we should be good to go now. So you can see the hog pens down there, they go sideways. It was a nightmare to try and get all that stuff in there. So at 100%, the first scoop out only gets, 32. That's what's left over. It's too bad there's not another level of this where you have more levels where you have more grates in them. There's just so many ways they could expand on what's actually in here. Could be like a career mode, proper career mode, like a competition mode or something. I think they were actually talking about doing that, having like an actual, not a multiplayer kind of thing, but like making so that for every seat they have like an actual season, like an actual multiplayer season you would think of like that. but it would just be a comparison of how much gold you have to other players that are playing the game. All right, let's go. Throw this in the magnetite separator. Got us 25%. Let's go ahead and take the gravel pumps only have one bucket, which I find interesting. They're a higher level thing, but there's only one bucket for them. They must do a much better job of separating out the magnetite and the gold. Alright, that's 75, so we'll stop at that point. Not much magnetite. Alright, there's our first one. Let's take these over here as we get them done. Hope I have enough buckets. So I'm filling it pretty damn fast. Yeah, it's not that much magnetite, jeez. Guess the gravel pumps might remove that more or something? I don't know. We only have 2% so far. A hell of a lot of gold. That first grouping already got 3 buckets almost completely full of gold. We hadn't even gone through the other stuff yet. Alright, let's throw the, come on. Let's go ahead and throw, oh, we already did those, alright. Let's go ahead and throw this stuff into the nudgitators. So this set of nudgitators is for the hog pen mats. The other one is for the miner's moss. Again, this is designed so that you can do multiple runs, or multiple mats and miner's mosses before cleaning out, and then have somewhere to do them all in a quick way. Getting to the moss on this plant is an insane Mission Impossible style task, because there's no proper way to get up on this side. Really, you can't really reach it from that either. You have to jump down into there and then jump off it and get stuck on all kinds of crap. So I already got 2,177 grams of gold at gold's worth of nuggets. Let's see how much we get out of the actual plant. So this is basically the tier 5 plant. It's the maximum level of everything. So you got all the highest level equipment at the highest mine site. Granted, I don't know if we were on any good gold or not, but we'll find out. And given the level of the nuggets, I would have to think so. Not like I can go do a drill sample now. It's pretty much all gone. Over a couple of grid segments. Got a bucket. Alright, start that up. That's not going to fill up, I don't think. This one usually doesn't fill up a bucket with a full load. No, it's not with just miner's moss. Yes, that one's done. Still got another 4 mats, or another 4 mosses to clean out. Won't be that much. Probably another 12-13%. So while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and dump this over here. Stick that. Alright, I have a bucket down there. Okay. Never mind. So we've cleaned out the hot pan, we've cleaned out the sluice boxes, we've cleaned out the gravel pumps, and we've done the all the mats and things. All that's left to do is process this last dirt. Then throw it all through the wave table. Alright, so we got one more bucket out of it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start. Doesn't look like we got too much, does it? Well, we'll see what happens here. That last bit was from the top of the soil. So we go back further here, we'll start getting better material. Yeah, already seeing an improvement there. Alright, last bucket. Let's see what we get. It's like a couple hundred ounces, or a couple hundred grams so far. Less than I thought, so it must not have been a very, very high value spot. So about, Yeah, 446 total once everything was said and done. Let me jump in this real quick. So we did 250. Yeah, some of these we're not going to even be able to check, but we can check the ones around them and see what they are. It's usually when you find streaks, pay streaks and veins and whatnot, they'll extend through several tiles, several grid segments. Crap. I almost went in that hole. I was driving backwards instead of driving to, backwards in terms of the direction, lateral direction, sideways direction. Just forgot we were going backwards. Alright, so we're gonna do these 3 grid spaces that grid tiles that we have available. We're gonna do here. Let's see what we have on them. I'm betting it's not much. Let's do these 3. We'll do 570 and 571. And I think we can also get that part of that one and the one next to it, 547 and 546. And we'll see what's in there. I'm betting it's not too good. I mean, it's not going to be nothing, but it's not going to be like massive either. Trail instructor. Especially 546. That'll give us an idea, because that and 545 are what we dug out a lot, so. Most out of the dirt came from those two grid tiles, so. We'll just do 546 here. We're gonna need to back into it though. Alright, let's see what these had in them. Oh yeah, look at this. It was all pretty much trash. Look at that. 2 grams per cubic meter. As opposed to this stuff over here. You know, 10 grams per cubic meter, 47 grams per cubic meter. So, even digging out just one of these squares here, I mean, let's take a look at this. So, we dug out these two and some of these. So, I mean, at most we're getting 2 grams per cubic meter out of there, right? We dig out one of these squares. Even all together, that's still only about 8 grams per cubic meter. Even digging down to just 5 to 6 meters, we're already like getting 4 times the gold, and that's like a couple shovels full of dirt to get to that depth. So it's just like, geez. Yeah, total gold, 20,000 grams. 741, 500. The other question though is did I dig it all out though? Which obviously is maybe I dug some of it out, but even this is like not that much. Well, yeah, see, there's like 1,300, 1,200. This, yeah, so this, so I've already dug out a lot of this stuff on this, as you can tell. Oh no, maybe not. The drilling depth is shorter than that. That's almost twice as... Yeah, okay, never mind. That must be what was there. Not what's there now, but what was there. It'd be nice if it said what was there now, as opposed to that. But yeah, this thing is like, geez. If I could have gotten another Frankenstein over here to dump stuff in there, that would have been nice to dig that out. No, I'm wondering. Well, I can check that later. I'm just going to say, I wonder if we can take this over to the, go buy the old owner claim, take this over there and start digging, drilling with that and see where the good spots are. And use that for that information for next season to just totally clean out. But I can do that later. Alright, that's going to be it for tonight's streaming. So thanks for watching, it live. For watching on YouTube afterwards, comments, questions, leave them below. And appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. And I think the next streaming I'll do will probably be Gold Rush. But I might do some dot hack or something maybe tomorrow night sometime. We'll see. But until then, this is GeoWill, and I will see you later.